Hey everyone, today we'll be working with React Native and we will be creating a splash screen, aka intro screen, whatever you want to name it. And basically, we want to have a splash screen to check if we are logged in or not. And if we are logged in, we will go into the main screen. Otherwise, we go to the login screen. So pretty much that's it. And we will focus on the logic. Of course, we will kind of mock the backend. So we will fake the calls. But the idea will be that you can create your splash screen in your apps. Okay, cool. Let's start. So here we have, our splash screen app, and basically the app TSX doesn't have anything for now, and we have here a README file where I have a command because we need to install a couple of things. So let's do it. Install. So we are installing React Native navigation basically, and a couple of other dependencies that it needs. And then we will use navigation, React Navigation library to do the navigation between the different screens. So the intro to either login or main screen. So now we have everything installed. Okay, so now we have here, we need to um, start by using a navigation container, right? And we also need to create a stack. So let's start by creating a stack. Create stack navigator, that's it. And then we can use it inside the navigation container so that we can do stack.navigator, and we just need to say initial route name. I will not use types here on TypeScript, so I'm just start coding it now. But of course, feel free to follow other videos I posted before, so where I also use types so that you can use them. And inside here, I want to do stack.screen. And pretty much we will have three screens. So first screen will be the intro screen, right? So where, yeah, the intro is pretty much the splash screen, but okay. Then we have also another one, which will be the login one. And we will have another one, which will be the main one, let's say. Cool. So now we also need to pass a component where we will pass the intro, and then here I will pass another component which will be, yeah, you guessed it right, so the login, and then here I will also pass the main component. So pretty much that's it, but now we don't have them created, right? So now let's start by creating our app, and inside the app folder we want also to create the screens. So inside this one I want to create the intro.tsx screen, even though I'm not using TypeScript, but okay. And pretty much that's it. So now I also want to create the login.tsx one, and also create the main.tsx one. And of course, now we need to start to create them. Okay, cool. So now here I want to do intro, and then I want to start by creating the components. I want also to export this one. So, and I need to return a component here, right? And this one, we will use the safe area view, and we want to have an animated view because we will want to animate whatever it's inside here. And here I want to put an image background, and pretty much that's it. It will be a simple, spinning or something like that, spinning image. So on the source, I want to provide URI because I will find some image online. So let's do it. I have it here. So, oops, let's do it like this. Then we should see an image with backgrounds, and yeah, pretty much that's it. So now, oops, I want also to create the styles and style sheet dot create, and then we need to pass an object, and yeah, now we can create our styles and start to style our intro screen. So here it will be easy. So I want to just do a background where I say flex 1 because I want to cover the whole thing, right? And then of course this is a display flex, oops, flex. And we want to justify content, center, and also align items to the center, so that everything is centered pretty much. And then I want also to add the image style where I will provide like width 150 or something, and then height 150. So now we have pretty much the styles, adding the styles here. So styles.background, that's one of them. And of course here we also want to give styles to the image, so we do styles.image, and that's it. Okay, this is a bit big, but yeah, that's fine. You could also move this one. Yeah, let's do it. So you can also move this one to the top and just create URI, and that's it. And then you do here use URI, and you should be good. At least it's a little bit cleaner. And yeah, okay. So now I want to fake that we actually do a call to log in or something like that. So the idea will be like we have an intro where we have a spinning image. Then we will log in the user, and of course, if you already have a user logged in, then you go directly to main screen. If you don't, you go to login page, so that they can login screen, so that they can log in, and from then you do route to main again, right? After they log in. So pretty much that's it. So what I also want to do is I want to keep a little bit the intro screen, so our splash screen, at least a minimum of time, so that after that we actually go to the login screen or main screen, and that way you can basically see the animation, right? Otherwise it would be maybe too fast. So now I want to add here some state. So first is the is waiting, and then test is waiting for accomplishing what I meant before. So the use state will be true. And then we also want to fake something, so logged in, and then set logged in. And here, of course, the use state will be false. So yeah, pretty much that's it. Yeah, you can import. And now I want to do a use effect, because every time we want to run this one, we want to run it in the beginning, right, when it mounts, and we want to do our logic to define these waitings and all of that stuff, and if it's logged in or not, etc. So first I want to create here a timeout. So timeout ID, where I say set timeout, and then of course we create the timeout, and here I will pass like 1 second or so. So after 1 second, we will say set is waiting is false. So that way we will wait for this timeout. At least we wait for 1 second. So then I return a function that pretty much does a clear timeout on the timeout ID, right? That way, when we unmount the code, the component, the screen, we pretty much run this function, and then we clear the timeout that we created before if there is a timeout set or a timeout ID set. So now, actually, we want to fake something here. So what I will do is create a random number. So math.random, and then we will do if random yeah, it's less than 0.5, then we say, for example, that it's logged in. So, and else we will say that the set logged in is false. So this pretty much is faking a call that you should do to your backends, for example, right? And here, yeah, 50% of the time we fake log in successful, and yeah, 50% of the time we fake login unsuccessful. Cool. So that's it pretty much. So here we would call backend instead, right? To verify the token, verify, yeah, do your login mechanism, right? But here we are just, yeah, creating the timeout so that it at least takes 1 second. And what we will do is create a const here. So we will say minimum time in milliseconds for intro. And here I will say, yeah, maybe we can increase it a bit to 2 seconds, for example. So then, yeah, that should be okay. And so the logic is there now. And so now what I want to do is create the navigation, right? So we have a navigation here, use navigation. So, and create another use effect. So this time what we will do is actually route, route the user to the correct screen, and for that we need to watch the logged in and the is waiting state, right? Anytime that changes, we will do something here, and that will be like if is waiting. So if you are still waiting, then you just return, right? Then if we are logged in, then here I will do navigation dot navigate, and if we are logged in, then we go to main, right? Else the navigation goes to the log, so the login screen, right? So here we have an error. Okay, 1, yes, 2, they expect a second argument, then we should be good. And this one is because we are, yeah, okay, that's fine, because it will work still. And in TypeScript, when you use the TypeScript types, then you will not have that. But yeah, that should be fine. And now we have the logic where we will basically watch for the is waiting while we wait for the minimum amount of animation to play in the intro screen or splash screen, and then we just check our fake call, so the fake state about the fake call. So login, we go to main, otherwise we go to login, and pretty much that's it. So let's take a look. If I restart here, now we need to go back to the app and just import our screens. So let's do it. Login, yeah, it's not there. So let's just comment out for now this, and we should see now something. Let's rebuild. Oh yeah, I forgot. So I need to go to iOS and also do pod install, I guess, because because we didn't do it before. We just installed the packages. So that's a nice one to do. Yes, we are seeing they are installing now. Okay, now we can go back. Okay, so I'm having some troubles using these URI here with the image. So I'm, yeah, going into... I cannot load it on Android. So what I will do here is I get rid of it. I downloaded the image itself and I put it inside assets, inside app folder. So now I can just get rid of this one here and say require, and then I just put the path here. So I go to assets and then background.png. And now we should be good. Okay, cool. So now it's loading. So yeah, now it's loading. So you see the the icons, the background here, sorry, and the intro top bar. Do not care about this one because now we are navigating, but we don't have the screens. So let's fix that part. So now we have the login screen, which I can say just say like export. Export const login, for example, here, and we will create same thing. And here we return, yeah, I don't care for now, so let's just return a fragment, and yeah, pretty much that's it. So now we can copy paste this one and also do the same for main. So instead of doing this, we do this. And yeah, now we need to borrow what we need. No, we don't need anything, so this should be okay now. And if we go to the app, I can already uncomment these ones and just do import and also do import. Okay, cool. So now if I go here, I can restart the whole thing. Let's see what happens. So this one already went to somewhere and this one went. So now you saw that we went to the intro one and immediately after we went to the main, and now on this one we went to the login. So because we are faking the call, and so if I go yeah, pretty much that's it. So now you cannot do that. So what I also want to do is remove these back states, and for that I want to pass some options here. And here I can say header shown, so we don't want header shown, yes, false. So in the intro one we don't want to show the header at all because it's, yeah, just the background image, right? And here I don't want to do the header left, so I will just return null because we don't want arrows because they are our entry points. So yeah, this is pretty much it for now. It works for now and for demonstration purposes. So let's take a look again. I restart the whole thing. Now you see that, yeah, we went again to login, but there's no back. And here, yeah, we went again to login, but probably we will go to main, for example, here maybe. Let's see. Yeah, now you went to main because, yeah, indeed, we are faking everything, so that's okay. And now what I want to do is borrow some code already pre-made where I can do some animations. So what I will do is pretty much borrow some code here where I'm doing, yeah, and now we define this one. So let's do animation. Yeah, I can also borrow that one. So I also borrow this animation duration ms, and now I can just explain a bit what I'm doing here. So what I did was I created a couple of colors here so that we can, yeah, every time you enter on the app, for example, the color is different. So that's a nice thing, I think. Then we also have a animated spin because we are spinning, and we create a value 0 because that's the value we will start when no animation is there. So in the beginning of the state, then we go slowly to 1, and then we interpolate. So what we will do here is this. So 0, 1 input range. So this will be the input range. And then the output range will be 0 degrees to 360 degrees. So we spin. And then we have the animate clockwise, where we use that animated spin. So these have value, which will be interpolated, right? And that animation will be the clockwise. So we will go to value 1, and it will take 1 second because we defined 1000 milliseconds here. We use native driver because we are doing transformations, so we can do it and it will be faster because of that. And the counterclockwise is because, yeah, we want to do a sequence where we go clockwise and then counterclockwise. So here you see the sequence. I'm creating a sequence already using 2 of them, so the animated clockwise and the animated counterclockwise, and then we just start the animated the loop, basically. So we loop this sequence. So and here we have the random background color. I'm using use memo because I want to define 1 time per render the color. So for example, you define the color here. We get an index where we see the color's length. So then we find the random value between 0 and the length of the colors array, which is defined here with a couple of colors already. And so we will choose one randomly, but we just choose it once. So then if the screen re-renders, it will be the same because we are using memo. So since we do not re-render it anytime, so we just render it 1 time. So if you add a dependency here, then you will re-render these function here every time this changes, but for now we just say run it once, and then that's it. So we keep the color and we use it. So now what I need to do is pretty much go so here I want to say background color, and this will be the background color with the bits, and this is it. And here I need to provide an object, oops, like this. Okay, cool. And now we also want transform. We pass an array, we say rotate, and then we pass the spin, which is this one here, right? The value that gets interpolated. And so with this, we have everything. So now we have the background color, then we have the rotate spin, and then we also have the timeout, which is not correct. So we need also to fix that. That's why it was so fast, because we didn't specify it here. So now it's specified. So let's see. If I restart, now I see the color, there is a spin, and then we go to the login and exactly the same. So as you see, so depending on the time that you open the app, the color changes. So it doesn't matter. Like for example, now it's red. So I think it's nice. Now it's yellow. That's cool. Then you have the animation, which takes 2 seconds. 1, 2, done. 1, 2, done. Cool. So now you should be able to create your own splash screen with a nice animation and also understand the logic behind how to route to login screen or to the main screen depending on the state and the logged in state of your user. I hope you like it. I hope it helps somehow. And of course, I will also put this code into a repo so that you can take a look. And yeah, of course, if you have any thoughts or questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Till next time, keep in the loop.